Hello ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, surprise surprise, I have a brand new ranking for you all, and I am going to be ranking all 12 of the upcoming MCU Phase 5 movies and shows based on excitement. So as we all know by now, Black Panther Wakanda Forever marked the end of Phase 4 of the MCU, and it's pretty safe to say that it is by far the most mixed the fan base has ever been. And that doesn't seem to be going away, as there are a lot of opinions out there on the future of the MCU. And truth be told, it's really not that long of a wait. I mean, the very first movie of Phase 5 is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and that's only coming out in February. Nevertheless though, I've already done multiple videos on Phase 4, so I think I'm just about wrapped up with that. So now I figured why not throw my hat in the ring and discuss all of the upcoming Phase 5 projects based on how excited I am for each. And just as a little pre-Phase 2, this might not be the entire lineup that we finish with from Phase 5. There were plenty of surprises in Phase 4 that weren't originally announced. There's a ton of leaks, unconfirmed, and rumors out there, and plenty of speculation on things like maybe a Moon Knight Season 2, or a Miss Marvel Season 2, or the Armor Wars movie doesn't really have a release date yet, as well as special presentations because there are none to be found quite yet in this release schedule, but things like the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and Werewolf by Night might just pop up somewhere along the line before Phase 5 concludes. Before I hop into the actual ranking itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my ranking videos. There is already over 100 videos on that playlist, with plenty more on the way, so if movie rankings are your thing, then check that out and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. Number 12, Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Now I know I'm definitely going to be pissing a few fans off with that one right out of the gate, but look, I've been very transparent with this character. Anytime I talk about WandaVision or this series, I am very clearly expressing how much I dislike Agatha Harkness as a villain, as a character. I just don't like her. I find her insanely annoying and totally unlikable, and that's not Catherine Hahn's fault. I love her as an actress. I think she's charming, I think she's hilarious, but this character, as of right now at least, and we only have her in WandaVision, and you know, I might be eating my own words when this series does finally release, but as of right now, what we've gotten from the character, I couldn't dislike her more. And so, yes, I don't care to watch this series at all, and am not looking forward to it whatsoever. Number 11, Echo. And this is really where the fun and excitement begins, because yes, I'm probably one of 4 people out there that is actually excited for Echo. I had no idea who this character was before watching Hawkeye. I'd never heard of her, not even once. But I loved Alaqua Cox's performance in Hawkeye, and I immediately became invested in the character and her backstory. I thought she was a badass, super mysterious, super intriguing, and I really couldn't wait to see more of her, so I'm actually all in on this series. Now, the latest leaks and rumors and speculations have stated that the series might actually be in trouble, and I really hope that's not the case, but there's also confirmation that Kingpin is going to be in this series, rumors that Charlie Cox's Daredevil might be popping up, and I really think that people are seriously overlooking this one, and it could definitely turn out to be something special. Number 10, Thunderbolts. So as it currently stands, Thunderbolts is meant to mark the end of Phase 5, and I've got to say, out of all of the upcoming MCU projects, people seem to be the most mixed on this one. People were really calling for a Thunderbolts movie, which is essentially just going to end up being the MCU's version of the Suicide Squad, but now that the final lineup has been revealed, a lot of people have expressed their serious disappointment in the characters that were chosen. Now, me personally, I love Bucky, I love Yelena Belova, I loved David Harbour as Red Guardian, I'm excited to see Ghost get a second chance at being a cool character, I'm excited to see Taskmaster get a second chance at being a cool character. I loved Wyatt Russell's performance as John Walker. I don't really care for Val all that much though, truth be told. In fact, I actually find her a little bit annoying. Nevertheless though, I'm keeping an open mind for this one. It could absolutely end up being a dud, but it could also end up being a massive sleeper hit for the MCU. Number 9, The Marvels. I didn't much care for the first Captain Marvel movie. It's definitely way towards the bottom when it comes to my MCU ranking. However, I actually loved the Miss Marvel series, and I loved Teyonah Parris's performance as Monica Rambeau. Where things left off with her at the end of WandaVision, going with the Skrulls, not really knowing what her powers are just yet, there is so much exploration to be done with this character, and again, it was a stellar performance by Teyonah Parris. And despite me not loving the original Captain Marvel movie, I actually do love Brie Larson in the role. Now, the story of the movie is what has me a little on the fence with this one, because apparently it's just those three main characters swapping places whenever they use their powers or something like that. So I'm not too sure how that's going to work out, but these three leads alone are enough to get me excited and put it in this place. Number 8, Ironheart. Ironheart is a character I very much so looked forward to being introduced into the MCU for quite some time now. And we got our first taste of Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams in the recently released Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I am so glad to say that I could not be happier with their casting choice of Dominique Thorne, and I was very impressed with her performance. No, she didn't get a ton of screen time or anything, but I thought she was super charming, very likable, very relatable, extremely funny, and she just seemed to fit in so well and so naturally with the established MCU. Hopefully this series is given a good budget and she gets a different suit, because I didn't really love this suit in Wakanda Forever, but nevertheless, there's still a ton that could be done with this character. I'm hoping she links up with Rhodey, I'm hoping we get to see Happy Hogan, and she really kind of takes on that role alongside Don Cheadle's War Machine as the new kind of Iron Man figures. Number 7, Secret Invasion. This series itself, I'm not super excited for. The trailer definitely did intrigue me and make me a bit more excited, but what really gets me excited for this series is what it implies, in that we now know that Secret Wars is coming, and I'm hoping that this series will lead directly into that and set up this massive event. A lot of the casting is fantastic. We have Olivia Colman, Emilia Clarke, of course Nick Fury is back, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson, and a few more heavy hitters in there as well, and above all else, I'm really just genuinely hoping this series surprises me. Number 6, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So it's no secret that I don't love the Ant-Man movies. I'm often criticized for having them so low on my ranking. I think they're both hilarious, and that's the biggest thing that I pull from them, is how much I laugh and how much I love the characters. And the movies definitely do have their own unique sort of sense of charm. But aside from that, I just haven't really fallen in love with either of the villains, and neither one of the stories really connected with me. However, this is the only Phase 5 project that we have a trailer for so far, and it looks promising. In fact, it looks damn good. Visually, it looks stunning. I love that we have Catherine Newton as our new Casey Lang, and she will have her own suit. Jonathan Majors looks to be a force to be reckoned with as Kang, at least this variant of Kang. We're going to be spending a lot more time in the quantum realm, which has just endless possibilities. And the tone of the movie looks like a complete 180 from the first 2 Ant-Man movies, and that has me even more excited than pretty much anything else I just listed off. Are you looking for the perfect gift for the movie lover in your life, or maybe you just want to treat yourself? Then look no further than the most unique piece of movie art you could possibly have with Movie Palette. Visit moviepalette.com right now and use code BAM15 at the checkout for 15% off your order. And now, back to the video. Number 5, Captain America: New World Order. We don't know a whole lot about this one right now. There are plenty of leaks and rumors and speculation about who's going to appear, who's not going to appear. One of the big ones is that we know Harrison Ford will be taking over for the late William Hurt as General Thaddeus Ross, and he might even be becoming the Red Hulk. She-Hulk might be popping up. Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk might be popping up as well. There is tons of speculation on who's going to be in this movie. We know that Tim Blake Nelson will be reprising his role from the Incredible Hulk, finally connecting it to the rest of the canon, and he will be playing the villain, the leader. We know that Carl Lumley will be back as Isaiah Bradley, who had just some of the best, most emotional moments in the entire MCU throughout Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we know that Danny Ramirez will be taking over the role of Falcon, which of course leads me to the biggest point and the main reason I'm excited for this one, and that is the fact that Anthony Mackie is now playing Captain America, and I am so stoked that he is getting to lead his own movie. Number 4, Daredevil Born Again. Truth be told, this is the one I was the most stuck on where to put it. This could be a massive hit, or it could be an unbelievable misfire, and that's what scares me, and that's why I didn't know where to put it. If this follows a similar tone to the original Netflix series Daredevil, then we could be in for a real treat. But if they make it far too MCU-y, as in it's way more lighthearted, not anywhere near as violent, way too much CGI, way too many jokes, then they could ruin the character. They have Charlie Cox back, that's step 1, and they have Vincent D'Onofrio back, and that's step 2. I would love to see the rest of the cast return. There's no confirmation on any of that yet. It's right there laid out in front of them. The recipe for success for this character with these exact actors is right there. The blueprint couldn't be any more clear. If they make some tweaks to make it fit in the canon and then follow along the same lines, it could be massive. It could be incredible, but if they just take it too far, then people could just absolutely hate it and roast the ever-living shit out of it. Number 3, Blade. This one's definitely had a troubled production, going through various directors and various writers. But really, all I have to say is that Mahershala Ali is playing the titular Blade. They have a new director in the chair and a new writer. The director who is involved with the Lovecraft Country series, and some writers who were responsible for things like the HBO Watchmen series. The last thing I'll say, and this could end up just blowing up in my face, but I have very high hopes because it is rumored and speculated by some very trustworthy sources that this is going to be the darkest MCU project yet. Number 2, Loki Season 2. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. The first season of Loki is my favorite of the MCU shows. It's pretty close between a couple of the others, but this is the only series so far that I've given a 9 out of 10. The rest have been 8s or lower. And the fact that the first season of Loki changed so much for the future of the MCU, I can only imagine how insane, bonkers, and big this second season is going to go, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Look, there have been so many big promises made so far about this third Guardians movie. We know that this is James Gunn's last movie with Marvel Studios. We know that the main roster is not going to be the same after this movie. We know that we are expected to be bawling our eyes out in the theater. James Gunn, I couldn't be happier that they brought him back for this final project. The first Guardians is a top 5 MCU movie. The second Guardians has grown on me a lot, and the recently released Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special got me all warm and fuzzy on the inside like any good Christmas special movie or show should. We also know that Will Poulter is going to be playing Adam Warlock, a character that fans have been demanding for a very long time. Could this one underwhelm? Yes, definitely. The MCU has been very hit or miss for most people since Endgame. But could this also end up blowing people's minds and skyrocketing to the top of everybody's rankings? I think that's also just as possible. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my ranking. While you're at it, be sure to let me know how you would have ranked all 12 of these upcoming movies and shows based on how excited you are. If you're a movie lover whatsoever, then my channel is the place to be for you. Be it rankings like this one, top 10 videos, versus videos, tier videos, I have all of those and so much more, with almost 600 videos currently on the channel for you to explore. If you enjoyed this particular video, then be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if any of that sounds like it's right for you, then smash that subscribe button right now. While you're at it, don't forget to ring that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.